Welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show. We are back right after getting home from JordanCon. I just found an Icy Die ring in my pocket. That's the kind of Wheel of Time fan that I am. I've got my bags not unpacked near me. This is, yeah, we are fresh off of JordanCon, and the huge news / video that we got from the Wheel of Time team that they sent to JordanCon, adding to the experience just like exponentially. It made it that much more amazing to be in that room while that video was airing. I can't even, like, Winespring, give me one word to describe it.
Breathtaking.
Breathtaking. That's good. She just like struck, like I can't even remember. I blacked out.
So much happening.
Voice taking.
Voice taking.
It was amazing. And so we're here to talk about it today. The Wheel of Time on Prime sent JordanCon and now the world a video where they gave us a few tidbits. They gave us some casting announcements and just a lot to talk about. And that's why we thought the perfect guest for today would be Lauren of Unraveling the Pattern. It's Lauren, because he is like legendary about his super deep dive videos, analyzing every little bit of every little image. I'm not gonna lie, it's like geeky airy for like the show sleuth, like finding out casting stuff. And then once it's released, Lauren is like my number one. So, you know, just so you know, like those two are both the people that I'm like, they know their stuff. You know what I mean? So that's why we have him here. So Lauren, Unraveling the Pattern, why don't you briefly introduce yourself? Let us know what you've got going on, what you've got in the works right now.
Well, thank you. That was an amazing introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's so exciting. I just love the Wheel of Time, like you guys and like everyone in chat, and just love nerding out about this stuff. And I like making videos, so that's what I do. So, yeah, I have a YouTube channel called Unraveling the Pattern. It's I go for more scripted content usually. I'm not the kind of guy who likes to get in front of a camera typically, although I'm very happy to be here. But yeah, that's what I do. Check out my YouTube channel, Unraveling the Pattern. You can also follow me on Twitter.
Heck yeah. There's a link to his YouTube and his Twitter in the description of this video. And if there's not, there will be after the stream. But there should be right now. I can't trust Streamlabs, but there should be. It should be there. I forgot to say hi to the chat. You guys are all here. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I see you, Meme Reborn, Illuminatrix, Light Blinded Fool. We saw you. Tavern called you out for even before the stream started, just like getting your theories out there, and we love to see it because that's what we're here for.
Light Blinded Fool's writing a book.
Hey, that's okay. We're about to write a book via stream. I don't know, whatever. Like if you transcribed it, it would be like a book. So the rest of us should introduce ourselves. Winespring, why don't you go ahead?
That's me. I'm Winespring from winespringcafe.com. Winespring Cafe on Twitter and Instagram. Come say hey, try my recipes. They're delicious. Again, that's winespringcafe.com.
Eat her food. Okay, Tavern, go ahead.
I am Tavern. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I am very happy to be here. I do merch, which you can find on Redbubble under Tavern. You can also find it on TeePublic. I have a Discord that is also Tavern. We've been having some pretty interesting conversations and chill chat there about the video that we're about to talk about. And yeah, if you haven't been to Lauren's YouTube channel, which I don't know why you wouldn't have, oh, have you know, this man has a narrating voice like butter.
Yeah.
Like when he talks, it makes me feel all squirrely in the squirrels. That's all I'm saying. It's amazing.
Okay.
Go watch.
Wow, the endorsements. They just keep coming in.
Love it.
I didn't get to give mine.
Oh.
Before I got involved with the Twitter Found Wheel of Time community, I would watch videos just on YouTube, and your channel was one of the first ones I found.
Whoa.
I loved the videos, yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Did you know you were coming into like a secret like fangirl like session? Yeah. It was like, hey, we're gonna bring him in and then we're just gonna like tell him how much we love him.
You're all acting like I didn't request this behind the scenes. You must all praise me.
I got my check. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I am Kritter XD. I do Wheel of Time and other fantasy content over on TikTok, here on my YouTube. I'm Egwene Elvira on Twitter. I am on Instagram, and because I'm like, TikTok might explode any day, you should go follow me over on Instagram if you like my short form content or like photos. And I have a Discord that's really fun, and I love hanging out with people in there. And I have merch. Actually, I'm wearing one of them now. It's
Yeah.
I do Brandon Sanderson, mainly Wheel of Time, but I've got like some Brandon Sanderson fan stuff. It's a little like eye test.
Is it new? Oh no, I've seen that one. Never mind.
Yeah.
Good. I love
So, anyways, just that's on Redbubble, and I've also got my logo merch on New Creations by Jen, so you can find it there too. Let's
Chat
see.
says we're not allowed to. Well, who was it that said it?
Sure, I understand.
Hybrid Havoc says that Lauren also has a podcast. Don't let him get away without promoting it as well.
Oh, is
Well,
that
I
right?
forgot, I forgot about that.
I do so many things that I just
Can
forget.
someone remind me? No.
So busy.
It's a small thing. We just started. We've done 3 episodes, and they're few and far between. We don't have like a regular schedule, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. They might be dark friends. And
Right.
It's me, Rob Christensen from the Weekly Wheel News, and Alyssa Powers, the wonderful song parody queen.
Yes, love her.
We get together and we talk Wheel of Time, but we like to compare each episode to a They Might Be Giants song and the lyrics of that song.
Fun.
So it's They Might Be Dark Friends. Yeah, it's fun. It's really kind of a little bit like the Lights work in that we like to talk about fandom, but we also like to talk a little bit about behind the scenes, what it means to be a content creator, that sort of stuff too. So we're just kind of getting started, but thank you for reminding me, Hybrid.
Thanks, Hybrid. Well done. Okay, so today, now that introductions are out of the way, now that we've fulfilled our contractual obligation of complimenting Lauren, we can move to the headline of the stream, and that is the video that the Wheel of Time sent us. I think the first thing that happened, so let's let this be the first thing that we talk about, was whenever the Aiel maidens came onto the screen, like,
Oh my god.
screams.
I lost it.
We've got Bane and Chiad. We didn't even know whether they were going to be, I don't think we knew whether they were going to be in the show at all. And so the fact that we got them and in costume with Avienda was just like, that was not on my Jordan Con bingo card. Not even close. Not even close. So I don't know, Lauren, what was the first thing you like thought when you saw whatever the first image of the maidens popped up? Like, what was your instinct? Was it like, what are the symbols behind them, or was it like, something else?
It's so funny. Yeah, it's so funny because, I'm one of those guys who I immediately looked at that column thing. And I was like, what is that? What is that column? I have to tell you, so I was not able to go to Jordan Con this year, sad, but I tried to follow it. I was definitely involved with FOMOCon this year. And we were all in FOMOCon, and the Jordan Con YouTube channel posted this video.
Yeah.
Like maybe 5 minutes after you guys started watching it live. Mm-hmm. And I started watching it at 2 times speed so that I could just like rush through it. So I was like commenting in Discord about things in the video, and people were like, where are you getting this from? Like, it was actually kind of funny because I was like,
slow down, Lauren, slow down.
Yeah, game board hold, anyway. So that was fun. And then in Discord, I actually just started streaming, not streaming, but just like showing my screen on Discord, and we started picking apart these things.
Immediately.
Working out these details.
That's
immediately.
awesome.
So you were all still in there watching it. Mm-hmm. And we were like zooming in on stuff. And so I owe the people at Discord, including Dana Lou, who was there. She
Love Dana.
We love her.
She mentioned it on the comments just now, but yeah, we were all there like zooming in on stuff and like, what is this? This is an archway. This isn't a column and everything like that. It was really awesome to do that with people. I've never really done that. I usually just like pick it all apart myself and then attempt to come up with a theory. But this time it was like a community effort, which was really fun. So anyway, I saw that. Obviously, seeing the Aiel, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I noticed how tall Bane is.
Yep.
I was like, whoa. And then that column arch thing on the left, that was the first thing I looked at.
Was anybody else like, now that it's happened and the shock is kind of over a little bit, even though the excitement is still there, in my mind it's going to be so weird that Bane and Chiad are like different people. because I'm so used to them being the same person on Twitter. It's like,
It's so true.
they're different. Like they're not. I mean, they're always together, which helps. But yeah,
I have an embarrassing comment to make about that.
how embarrassing.
Okay, of course.
It's not
Go
super
for it.
bad. For the longest time, I thought Vin and Chad on Twitter were two people using the same account.
I mean, that's not that
yeah.
embarrassing. I feel like.
And then I
that's
met
fine.
them, but I met them. I met her at WatCon. I still thought it was two people on the one.
You're like, you're one of them. Where's the other one?
I was like, there's somebody missing. Sad.
I think
That's hilarious.
I love their outfits. Can I just say, like, I feel
Yes.
like they are
Yeah.
the perfect blend of like functional and style, obviously, and the fact that they're not identical for me was like a major win.
Yes.
They're all unique, which they would be, and so I don't know. I'm a big fan. Was there any standout, accoutrement or item that any of them had that you guys like focused on?
Yeah, well, I remember when when we saw Shail in season 1, which was one of the most incredible scenes in all of season 1, right? She had that sort of, yeah, really. She had that like sort of leather, I don't know what you even call that, like a vest or something. And a lot of us were speculating, like, is this part of the Aiel, Cadansor? What is this?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it has like the cool tree designs on it, like from the Tree of Life, or what is it, Avendasora?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is super cool detail. But then when I saw all three of them, that was definitely one of the first things that stood out. It's like, oh, they each have little bits of leather and things, but it's totally unique to the individual.
Mm-hmm.
But a wetlander would totally look at this and go, oh, they're the same.
Yep.
But they are very unique and different in their own way, which is
Mhm.
really
Like
cool.
browns, tans, a few grays, like it. Yeah, I love it. I can see it. It's kind of perfect for me.
That's the first thing I took notice of, because even before Shail showed up, we had the Ale in a Cage, episode 3, also had leather, and everybody was like, "Oh, that can't be an Ale, Aiel, because they have leather." And it turns out, yeah, it wasn't Aiel that they captured and killed. And then Shail came in again, leather, and I was like, "That's really cool." Even the Shail shots are still different from what we're looking at now, because she was in the snow, so it was
Right.
the outfit was different.
Yeah.
The outfits here are amazing. The screen grabs that I try to get as many screen grabs from close-ups on the different parts of the outfits as they went through the video, and there's so much attention to detail. It's insane.
Yeah.
I agree.
Incredible.
Hybrid Havoc in the chat. Already saw people complaining the spears are too clean. See, now we can
Yeah.
push back on that, because you would want them to be clean, otherwise
Yeah.
they would rust. So those people can go
Yes.
touch grass. Like literally.
I've seen so many complaints like this over the last few days. I don't know why, but I'm very thankful. But this video that I recently released, where I theorize about this video, is one of my most successful videos to date.
Amazing.
It's getting a lot more views than
Right.
I normally do.
You
Yeah,
have a
it's,
ton of views on there.
Yeah.
it's very exciting. But that being said, because of that, when you gain popularity on a platform like YouTube, you also bring in a lot more people who have different
Yeah.
opinions than your typical viewership. And so I've been getting quite a bit of angry comments, some racist ones, which I delete immediately. But
Hey, good for you.
anyway, that being said, like, there are a few things that people are upset about, and I feel like some people don't understand what this video is that they released. This is actors in costume lit for an interview.
Yeah.
This is not like dramatic lighting where we're seeing them in action in the show.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
it's gonna be
so
very different. Yeah.
the spears are props. They're not sharp. Sorry to break it to people.
Yeah.
They're not going to look that awful and
What?
dull in the show.
If you shake them, they probably wobble.
And I don't even mean awful, but they're just so well lit that the blades legit look almost plastic
yeah.
in these shots. But
Mhm.
this is one of those things that I think people just don't realize, that they were set up for an interview. They were
Yeah.
not. This is not like production in the show. So that was
Yeah.
something that definitely stood out to me. Is the lighting is very clean. It's like interview lighting. It almost feels like they're standing on a back green screen in some of the shots. Like
It did.
It
I
kind of
thought
has that
too when
feeling
it
too.
started.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. It does.
that's just how they.
I
That's
think-
just how they lit it. So
The first thing I noticed, I was totally captivated by their eyes
Mhm.
and their hair.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like they're just so like I don't know, powerful looking, the three of them next to each other. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see them like in action using those spears.
Like
you
I
know,
want to
and
be captured.
Oh my gosh.
I want to be captured.
The fact that I love that they also put the veil on, because they're like there were so many
Yes.
people who were also whining about the veil in season 1
Oh.
while she was literally giving birth. Like, there's so many things that I see people talk about that I'm just like, are you
Ridiculous.
like
Yeah.
you just need something to complain about? But
Exactly.
but
on, so-
now what?
This guy needs to explain himself. The ale went woke with the masking, though. Can we at least agree on that? Explain the wokeness of the veil?
I think it's a joke. I think
It's a COVID.
Yeah.
It's
I think
COVID.
I think it's a COVID joke.
Okay, thank you. 'Cause I was like, I was about to fight.
Oh wow, meme reborn. No spear shaming, please. Yeah, we don't. Like every spear is different. Okay. Yes.
It's not the shininess of the spear. It's how you use it.
Exactly.
I was gonna say.
Apparently, it's not the length of the spear either. Just saying.
Exactly. Although the length of those spears is
Happening.
impressive.
Very impressive
What's
length.
Hollywood.
What's
man.
happening?
So I was gonna say real quick. Speaking of the costumes and just like the elaborate details,
Sure.
something that stood out to me because I took a few notes on just all the interviews because I was so focused on these Aiel shots, I forgot to listen to the rest of the video.
Fair,
So
yeah.
today I watched it and like took some notes. And Priyanka said something really cool. She said she loved the costumes in season 1. They're way better in season 2 and even better in season 3. And so seeing that these are probably season 3 costumes, but I'm guessing they're very similar to their season 2 versions of the Aiel costumes, it gets me really excited because you can tell they've really upped the quality. Like even the white cloaks and some of the screenshots we've seen in some of the teasers
Yeah.
for season 2, like quality's going up. And to me, that says Amazon trusts in Rafe, they trust in the show, and they're putting more money into it for season 3, which is
Yeah.
so exciting for me. So
You love to see it. I'm pretty excited about that too. I agree. I just the buckler, Dana who pointed this out earlier,
Yeah.
like they've got all this cool stuff. And somebody else also said, I think it was Chiad has less it seems to have less weapons. So let me pull her up. Maybe maybe she's more
She's got-
focused. Maybe she's
got
more
spear-
focused on like hand to hand. I mean, she's got spears, but that's
Yeah, she's got
That's-
spears. She's got like 2, and I think she's got 1 in her hand because later on you see her twirling it. Where Bane has
Okay.
a bow that the other 2 don't.
yeah. And Avienda's
is
just got
also
3 spears. and she has that buckler attached to her. At least in the other shot she did.
I think all 3 of them have bucklers.
Nice.
I wonder if some of them have them on the back.
Yeah, that's where Avienda's
Avienda does.
was. Yeah.
Oh, it was? Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm so excited that we get to see Aiel. Like,
Oh, another thing, the hand talk.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
as soon as I saw that, it was
Wow.
like, yes.
What
they
a
do-
moment.
Oh my
Yes.
And
gosh.
yes. And there's another thing people are complaining about. They're like, this hand talk's really obvious. And I'm like, oh, come on. This is an interview. Like, chill out.
They're exaggerating it for the interview. For example, we have A, B, and C in Maiden's hand talk now because Avienda, Bane, and Shad, right? Or close to A, B, and C. And they said they were going to make it to the point where we would be able to figure it out as the show progressed, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I love how
that.
Shad is just like, whoop.
Do you think they'll do subtitles? Like
I hope so.
in the show? I feel like they would have to for us to be
Yeah.
able to learn it, you know?
Yes.
We want that
Yeah.
so that we can learn it. Yes.
I love it when a TV show has subtitles when they want us to know what's being said, but they don't include subtitles when they want us to be as confused as like the Wetlanders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope there's kind of a
That
mix
makes
of
good
that.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, their names are very succinct in their hand. So Avienda's is down, Chiad is this, and I believe Bane was this. So when they're talking to each other, you should be able to point out if one of them looks at Chiad and goes, whatever, you know that she's telling Chiad, look, or whatever it is, right? You can see the names, and the names are super simple hand gestures, which I thought was really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if they're using them during battle. Like, the language has to be succinct, right? They have to be able to communicate a lot very easily. So
Yeah.
cool.
Very similar to military hand gestures.
So aside from their looks, I feel like they really communicated the fact that they understood their characters. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
what's your favorite kind of Trolloc? You know what I mean? A dead one? Like,
Yeah.
so-
A dead one. Yeah.
My favorite answer in that whole video
yeah.
is that.
Yeah. I think I'm like Siri keeps talking to
Thank
me.
you, Siri.
Thanks,
Like, I don't know why she
Appreciate
just keeps talking to
She
me.
is enjoying the stream.
Yeah.
I also love that Chiad said that she needs Bane
Yeah.
all the time. That was the
Mhm.
cutest
Yeah.
thing. They're like,
Yeah.
you know, they're first sisters in real life or something. That's so cool.
I know. And was it Geeky Area or somebody who's been like scrolling through their Instagram or whatever and finding like they're together all the time, even in real life, right? That is so
Yeah.
cool. I love it.
Yeah.
That is it. The
Yeah,
whole
very
cast
similar.
is like hanging out together, which is such a wonderful thing to see.
I know.
It's like very similar to the first season where the boys were like, "Yeah, we just got in a car and we drove, we took off, and they
Yeah.
just bonded by driving
Yeah.
around, you know."
It makes for
countryside
good
and stuff.
chemistry on the screen.
Yeah,
Like it really comes through.
it does. So, other than the initial shock from the maidens, and we need to definitely talk about the room. Do you guys want to talk about the room now?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about the room now. Okay, we've got
do
we
it.
had the images. I'll pull them back up. So the room that they were in, the room that Rafe was in, the room that Sarah was in, they had these. I'm trying to get the best possible picture. This one's the biggest, so we'll start with
All of
it.
them. Well,
So this is the big picture, right? We've got the stone arches, but like. So I guess before we start, let's go around the room and talk about what we think it is. And Winespring, why don't you go first?
Okay, so I think it's gonna be where they do the accepted test.
Okay. What makes
At
you
least
think
that's what I'm hoping with the arches and just you know, because they walk through. There's 3 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know there's another shot with Rafe, I think, and you can see, and Sarah too. It looks like they're the positioning. That's just where I'm leaning. What I'm hoping, I think.
Okay. I'll go now because I know you guys. I think maybe on the same page. So whenever I saw them at first, and you may recall this Winespring, I was like, "Oh my god!" And you're like, "What?" And I was like, "It's the accepted test!" Like immediately,
Yeah.
I said that. I was like, just
You did.
because it was just the art. Like there were arches behind them. That felt super obvious to me for some reason. And then the
Yeah.
more I got to thinking about it, the more I started second guessing myself because why would there be Aiel in there? Why would but this is the smoke and mirrors, like, because it's an interview and that's where everyone
Yeah.
was. You know what I mean? So now
Yeah.
I'm like, I was accepted test and then I was like, ooh, never mind, Ruidian, because there's Aiel, and now I'm back to no, I think it's actually the accepted test. So
Welcome back to the
thank
team.
you. I went on a journey, but I'm back to where I started, and I feel like we're maybe all on the same page. Tavern, is that where you're at too?
yeah, yeah. The arches, the symbology, the stuff that was said during the interviews, that they had shot some great scenes, and you're expecting this, and that, right? I won't get into it, so we're going to talk about it here in a second. Basically, all leads me to believe that this is the accepted test, and that I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, the Aiel are there, so it's got to be, you know, Tyr, the stone, or whatever."
Yeah.
I think the Aiel are there, and Rafe and Sarah were there because it was an empty set they could use and they could show us. Right? It was already put up. They weren't using it at the moment. They could go in there, film without disrupting anything else, and it was a nice gift to us
Yeah.
to have us decipher stuff.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
They knew we'd love the symbols. Lauren,
Oh,
Lauren, where's your mind at with this? And if you want to jump into the details at this point, we can
I
go ahead.
definitely have been thinking about this a lot. I'll tell you, my first reaction was I thought it was Ruidian for sure. Like, because I
Yeah,
saw the
for sure.
Aiel,
Yeah.
it felt kind of like this ancient location.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I was like scratching my head because there's no place in Ruidian that matches this look, really. They have glass columns.
Yeah.
They have rings, not arches. You know,
It's a
so I was
modern city,
thinking,
yeah.
could it have been like a hold in the Aiel waist? You know, like I was, because it feels a little bit like a cave.
Yeah,
That's-
absolutely.
And then I realized
Or basement,
between
yeah.
Bane and Avienda, there's a statue back there behind them. I had a hard time telling what that background was. I thought it was just like a cave wall or something, but it's actually a statue that's very similar in style to the statues in the warders' quarters in the tower. But I still was
There's
like,
a close-up shot in there somewhere.
Oh, is there? Okay, I'll pull it
yeah.
up.
it's the shot when all 3 of them are shown, but they're laughing and they kind of move aside, and you can see the statue more clearly behind them there.
Ooh, I can't wait to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a Lauren, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's what the statue is what appears to be a woman.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Here we
Woman,
go.
and her hands are up like this, and you
Right.
can see her head. and there's like a stole or a shawl or something down
Right.
like between her legs. You can see the tassels at the bottom. It's really cool.
Is this the one you
Yeah, look
were?
at that.
I'm making it bigger. Is this what we're?
Yeah,
talking
that's good. There is one where you can almost see the facial,
Yeah.
features
was hard to
on the
get on
statue.
my- on my
Yeah, I think
screenshot
that's
stuff,
about the
yeah.
best one.
Yeah.
So this to me feels like just a more ancient version of the current architectures that we've seen in the tower so far. And the other thing that confused me though is I always imagined the deep chambers below the tower to be more clean and like the more like futuristic almost feeling.
Really?
yeah,
I never
they're
got
deep
that.
below.
No.
That's just my headcanon because I went and read the description and it says very clearly. Let me see if I can find it. It says the domed room had been carved out of the bedrock of the island. It says the light of lamps on tall stands reflected the pale, smooth stone walls. So it's actually more of a dungeon than I envisioned in my reading. It's more like carved right out of the bedrock. So I'm even more convinced than ever that this is carved right out of the bedrock of the like the foundations of the White Tower. That the arches are different in their material, which to me implies that each arch has a different meaning. One is for what was, one is for what is, and one is for what will be. So I love that idea. The only thing that's really not matching the description is the fact that the arches aren't together.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one other thing that people have been complaining about, that they're not silver. But if you go back to the shot you had up before, Kritter,
With all of them.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
highlight. Okay, so the arches themselves, right, have designs on them. The parts that are sticking out are silver.
Yeah.
They're silver in color.
Oh.
Like he said, each pattern is separate. And you would think after hundreds of years of use, the relief part, or the part that's deeper, is probably going to be dirtier or have some kind of patina or something. So as you're using the power, I would think that the power would, hit the outside, or maybe when they're cleaning them or whatever. There is definitely silverish color on those colors.
I'm gonna just point at this, like, if you can see my scroll, I don't know if you can. Right here, it looks like it's like kind of, I don't want to say the word gilded because I feel like that's for gold, but it's like it's got the little it's got silver overlay on it, right? And so like stop whining. I feel like this is the stop whining stream, but you know what? I guess we're just getting started on season 2, so it's only just begun.
Well, and here's what Rafe said. He said, a couple scenes in this room were incredibly difficult to film. A lot of resets. Blood, VFX, water, resetting of costume, unsetting of costume, change of costume. So this implies to me that VFX, someone pointed out that there is a glow that comes from the silver arches in the books when they're in use.
Ooh.
They die down and are more dull when they are not in use. And so to me, we're seeing the not in use version of these. I would love it if those sort of the intricate designs on those arches almost like light up or fill up with some sort of silvery light. I mean, imagine the portal that Moraine and Swan used to go into their sex hut, right?
The FFH, right?
That's like exactly. That's like a intricate, the power almost like weaves into those symbols of that thing and then opens that doorway. So I could see something similar happening. I get the idea that they're using these sort of like one power doorways a lot in the show. And so to me, I think with VFX, this is going to look even better. I also think that's why it was so difficult, because they probably had green screens and stuff in there that they had to work with all this stuff. The resetting and unsetting of costumes is interesting to me, because that sort of implies to me that maybe they have some sort of like squibs. You know what squibs are? Those exploding blood type things that they use.
Yeah.
Because they did say blood. I don't know what that means exactly. If they actually have blood coming out of something, and so they have to like rig someone up with tubes with fake blood. Like, I wonder what that means.
I have a theory on that as well. So in the books, we get Nynaeve's accepted test.
Yes.
And we also get Egwene's accepted test. If I'm not mistaken, all we get about Elaine's is that when Sheriam has taken Egwene down, she says Elaine should be done with her test by now, right?
Yeah.
Again, they're showing stuff in the show that they didn't describe in the books. We talked about this before the stream started. Little things like Loghain's whole thing in season 1. that we had. I think the part of that in the books was they caught a false dragon in Gildan or something, and then they turned it into this whole episode, right? We might get Lane's accepted test. Which would be
instead of
cool.
Nynaeve and Egwene.
No. I think we're getting Nynaeve's in season 2.
Okay.
And either Elaine or Egwene's like a collage of both, or maybe both in season 3, because they did say it was for both, right? That the room set was used for both seasons.
Yeah, there'd be no reason if we didn't get multiple tests. I don't think.
Exactly. So I think we're getting more than one test, and I think the Nynaeve one is going to be a shocker to us. And then when we find out in season 3, or when new people find out in season 3, oh my God, Egwene and Elaine have to go through that too?
Yeah.
It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of cool. And there's my favorite symbol in the room.
I know.
As far as the blood goes too, remember when Nynaeve comes out, there are thorns through her palms, and she's bleeding.
Yes.
So I could see that being why they need to reset things.
Absolutely.
Why they had blood, and obviously the water is, the sort of baptismal ritual they go through when they come out. So to me, it just all adds up to that.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm curious to hear other people's theories, because there are some other really good theories. Some people think it's the Stone of Tyr, and someone told me that there are doorways into the Stone of Tyr.
Yeah,
I couldn't find that description anywhere, but
I can't either. And not to mention that this room, there are 2 arches. They're set in a very purposeful way that are not doorways, right? Or not true doorways.
They're just kind of in the middle of something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless, okay, I guess we didn't really talk about. I haven't really heard many people talking about this at all, and by many I mean any. I guess there would be no way that these would be like the twisted stone door frame. You know what I mean? Because they're like, we have stone door frames in the books, and they come up relatively early, and we've got book 4 and I believe book 3. I think book 3. But yeah, so like, just for the sake of the covering all of our bases, like, there's no way that's what this is, right?
No, I thought about it, and I don't think they would have 2 of them next to each other. And these don't really look like doorways; they're arches.
I guess that's fair.
They don't have the symbology on them that the Finn doors have.
Okay. What does that remind me what that is?
One has wavy lines, and the other one has, I think, triangles.
Oh, okay. That checks
snakes
out.
and foxes. Yeah.
That checks
out. So I did hear this somewhere. I can't remember if it was on Twitter or in my YouTube comments. Someone did bring this up that maybe these are the red stone, the twisted stone doorway door frames that Matt goes through. The one theory that I kind of like supporting that, or not even a theory, it's just the idea that maybe we get Matt to go through the first door frame in the basement of the White Tower earlier. As a sort of setup for later. Okay. That was the only thing where I was like, well, I'm intrigued by the idea. I don't think that's what this is. But
that would be cool.
I would love that if Matt is sort of wandering the tower.
Yeah.
And he stumbles into a door frame or something.
Well, he's burrowing through the tower, right? Because that's what they say he's doing in that clip from New York Comic Con, is he's like Shawshank Redemptioning his way out of his cell. And
he's got a poster.
Yeah, essentially. And so what if he like breaks through the wall and he ends up on the other side of the wall? What just happened? Oh my gosh, my display just went black, but we're back. He breaks through the other side of the wall, and boom, there's a door frame. That would be, and gosh. Matt can't help himself. He's gonna go through the door frame, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to.
You'd have to.
We've already established that Matt can't help himself.
Although it'd be really funny if he busted through the wall and he ends up in the sex hut.
Oh my gosh.
I'm kidding.
So all roads actually lead to the FFH.
All roads, yeah.
Jubail in the Twitch chat is asking, are we getting the Stone of Tyr this season? And that's the other theory. People are saying, are these arches the Stone of Tyr? And I'm thinking, partially based on this symbol that we haven't fully talked about yet, I don't think so. I think the Stone of Tyr is too much, and I agree. I feel like Lauren also has the same thought, that we're not going to get the Stone of Tyr until after we get back from the Isle Waste, which I don't think is going to happen until season 3. So it's going to be maybe season 4 that we're getting Stone of Tyr. because it just
That'll be
like
interesting.
it streamlines a lot of things, right? The Aiel are involved in the stone. Rand, Rand could easily become the leader of the Aiel before they go back and take the stone in fulfillment of the prophecies. That's my bet, and I guess we'll see if I'm right.
I tend to agree with that. I mean, as you said, there's too much to do. They're already cramming books 2 and 3 in.
Yeah.
We do know that Falma is a big part of season 2. We've seen a lot of the Shan-Chan. I have a hard time believing they're going to also cram Tyr into all of that.
It's too much.
But because the story arcs for books 2 and 3 are so similar,
Yep.
it just makes sense to me to wait. Also, it always kind of bothered me that Rand pushed so hard to get to Kalendor, only to ignore it.
To leave it.
Books.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes.
And so, to me, it's like, what do they call that? The thing that you put on the mantle. What's that term?
Oh, trophy.
In literature, when something is on the mantle early on, it's like,
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
I'm an English minor. I'm embarrassed. I don't know what
I'm
this
probably
is.
Someone
misremembering.
in chat will get it for us.
Yeah, somebody in
Well,
chat.
anyway, it's this idea that if you see a rifle hanging on the wall in Act 1, it's got to be used by the end of Act 3.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
okay.
Oh, that.
I can't
okay.
remember what that's called.
Chekhov's gun? Sith
That's
guy?
what it is. Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sith guy. Thank you, Sith guy.
Chekhov's gun. Yes.
How did the Star Trek guy get so confused?
So anyway, that was what I was going for, and I couldn't remember what it was called. But the idea that if you're going to get Kalendor into it, it needs to be made use of sooner.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
I was always in the impression, and I know what everybody's saying, oh, he got to Kalendor and then he left it there. He left it there with a trap, knowing that the Forsaken were after him in hopes that one of them would be stupid enough to try to grab it. So there was a purpose for him leaving it there. Well, that he didn't trust himself.
Oh, so he was afraid of it. That's why he left
Yeah, he was
there.
afraid of it, and he also left it trapped. So it wasn't until he sent for it that he was like, okay, I guess I have to use it. You know? So, but yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the symbol, and then we can stop talking about the door frames because we got to keep it. We got more stuff than just the door frame.
We got Jay Duffy.
We got Jay Duffy. Okay, I'm sorry. There's more to come. So behind them we have this circle. It looks like some people have said sunburst, which is fair because it's got the little points on the outside of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to your point, Tavern, about the Aelfin and Eelfin, there are some triangles on that symbol. Just to be fair. But yeah, we've got 7 circles and 1 in the middle. And Lauren, you kind of broke down in your video like a couple of ways that those could be interpreted, and I don't want to steal your thunder, so do you want to go?
Yeah, tell us.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there are other better ideas, but the ones that I thought of are obviously the 7 Ajas with the Armerlin in the center. Or alternatively, I can't see that they would acknowledge the Black Aja in a situation like this.
No way.
But that is some, the 8th Aja could be possibly a thing. But the theory that I like the most is totally just off the wall. There's no real evidence for it. But the idea that there are maybe 8 seals instead of 7, and that the center seal represents the eye of the world where Ishamael was freed. And that he will go to the other seals in attempts to free the other Forsaken. And the reason I think that is because there is a theory that there are only 8 Forsaken in the show. There are 8 statues. They have said they may be consolidating some characters. There are some Forsaken that we all know are pretty useless. So
True.
That's my kind of zany theory that maybe now, why would this be in the tower? It wouldn't. But I like the idea of like repeating patterns that have multiple meanings. So that's one of the meanings I like, is this idea of Watcher of the Seals. That there are other seals.
Oh, because of the Watcher of the Seals. See, you also said in the video, so now I am going to steal your thunder because you didn't bring it up, that about the ages, right? Like,
oh yeah.
I thought that was brilliant.
7 ages.
There's 7 ages, and then maybe the middle is like kind of the center of the wheel or something else.
Or the Armerlin. The Armerlin could be that center.
Yeah.
Because, there is that visual motif too of you've got the Armerlin kind of walking into the center and sitting in the middle, but then you have the 7 colors in that circular motif in the hall of the tower.
Yes,
so,
that's
and this
awesome.
this exact symbol, almost exact, is featured like on the Amerlin seat and around on the columns and stuff in that scene.
Whoa.
Honestly, it also, if I'm remembering right, kind of looks like a from above shot of the hall, right? Because like, we got to see a lot of things from like up above, which was great because like that set was really cool. The way they had all the Ajas laid out and the throne was or the seat was awesome. And so now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of like how it looked. So I think we're all pretty convinced that it's the accepted test chamber at this point. Yeah. So I'm gonna love when it's totally not that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to watch it, you guys. This is just too much.
We're going all in on the test chamber.
Okay. I love that for us. And if it's
one other theory for the Stone of Tyr that is kind of fun is they do say a lot of costume changing. World of Dreams.
Oh.
Don't change the image yet.
Okay. I'm not. Go ahead.
I mean, they meet in the tower, or they meet in the Stone of Tyr a lot.
A lot. But do you think they're going to be in the World of Dreams already in season 2, like that much?
I mean, I don't. But I like the idea of them actually sticking to the book description of them constantly changing their outfits.
I do too.
I have a hard time believing they'll actually do that in the show, but
honestly, we can do that.
Dusty Wheel is in the house.
Dusty Wheel
What's
is in the
up?
house. Hey, what's up? Is that true? I don't even.
Friend.
Oh, there they are. It totally is. Oh, they're agreeing with us. It's the accepted test, 100%. I assume that's what you're agreeing with. I keep seeing him be like, "It is not the Stone of Tyr" on Twitter. But going back to the Stone of Tyr in Teleron Riod while they're changing and stuff, honestly, like to me, if somebody's like, "Oh, it's too much CGI," I'm like, you can do that on TikTok with a shoestring budget. You know what I mean? You just like cut the frame. You're in a different clothes. Cut the frame. You're in a different clothes. Like easy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need help with that, Prime Video, just come talk to me. It's just a TikTok transition. Think of it as a TikTok transition. It's easy.
How are you gonna do that and be Brigitte?
Yeah.
Can't be both.
I could be in.
Can't be both.
I would literally be in the same place. I'd be right there, just right there, ready for
How
them.
could I ever limit you?
And what didn't a lot of people think Raga Ragnar's was gonna be Brigitte? So now I'm like, I still have a chance.
Yeah.
By the way, I just thought of a really fun cosplay concept.
Okay.
You know, have you ever seen those magic shows with like the quick change thing they do, where they're constantly like changing clothes? You could be like someone in Teleron Riod with like quick change. Just,
my gosh, that's such a good idea. I love it.
Funny.
I love it. Okay.
Nice.
All right. Are we ready to change photos, Tavern, or you want this?
No, I got.
We have your permission.
Zoom that bad boy up because there's a couple things I remember I said at the beginning that I had a theory or a thing. And no, I hadn't heard anybody discuss yet.
Zoom it. Okay.
Do it.
It's zoomed.
Okay. So yes, we have 8 circles, 7 around 1. We got that part, right?
Mm-hmm.
From what I can tell, and it's kind of hard because it's blurry, each one of those circles has a different pattern inside of it. Just by looking, they're all slightly different. Number 2, the sunburst around the outside, it's not complete. They are in groups of 2, and if you kind of count, it looks like there are 8 sets of 2 around the outside. Okay, so that's just stuff that I've noticed. So it could either be the Ajas, or as Lauren stated, and a bunch of other people have stated, that it could be the Forsaken, or any number of things, right? If it is the seals, I would think there would be 7 seals and then the boar in the middle, which is another possibility. And one thing that you didn't bring up, Lauren, that I saw.
How dare you? No.
Well, I was in his video, so I was hoping he would bring it, but he didn't bring it up.
So we're stealing it.
Yeah, we're stealing it because
It's ours now.
I already did
see
it.
the lines coming off of the circle at the top.
Yes.
They're actually like a pattern that shoots out away from the big sun disc. So there's a lot of different things. I can't wait to get a really good high def picture of this thing, because I just find it super intriguing and it has so many different possibilities. I'll bet that each one of those circles is a different pattern.
This is like Taylor Swift level Easter egg. Like, you know, Amazon's like, these people,
Nice.
they're going to there are 17 layers to this object and they're going to find like 9 of them
Kritter,
maybe.
Everybody knows T Swift's favorite number is 13.
Oh, that's a good point.
Just throwing it out there.
Okay.
So I did notice that there's a little view from one of the shots from the side of the maidens of the sort of symbol that's between or in the other archway on the left.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to see, and that's what I think that's what you're talking about that I pointed out in my video. It almost looks like there are these paths coming out from the center. I kind of get the impression that that middle one is for what was, if it's related to the seals. I like the idea that the one with the converging paths or the separate paths leaving on the left might be for what could be, or what will be. Makes me wonder what were. I think it's in there. If you kind of rewind that shot a little, it's like it focuses in on the symbol a little bit, and you can kind of see. It looks like a different symbol. I don't know what it is, but it's not the same as this eight circles.
Yeah, I can see it. It almost looks like a trefoil leaf, or like it's like overlapping leaf looking things.
Right above.
All right.
You're talking about right above the
I'm talking
arrows,
about
right?
above the arrows under the bow. It looks almost like kind of a woven star / flower pattern.
Yeah, to be honest, it's similar to the pattern on that arch.
It is, yeah. Kind of. So that's something.
So I'm really intrigued to see what the other arch looks like, because I think whatever the third arch is probably going to have certain motifs related to whether it's past, present, or future.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Oliver's
ears.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Go ahead. You read it.
Oliver's ear says, "Be horrible if there was no significance to the circles."
Well, I mean, the Wheel of Time. There's significance whether they point it out or not.
Right,
This room was just a bathroom in the tower.
We've already ascribed significance, so even if it wasn't intentional, it's significant now.
Exactly.
And it's just there's too much. There's too many things that it could be. That there's it's anyways. Okay, so was there anything else we wanted to talk about in the room about the maidens other than that we love them? Anything else before we move on to the others?
There was one little thing at the feet, behind them in the feet that we talked about, Lauren, in the FOMO chat. We couldn't identify it because it was just so. I don't even have a screenshot because I couldn't get a good screenshot of it. But between their feet, behind them, up against the wall or something, it's like this little lit up. It almost looks like it has lights on it or something. It was really weird.
Honestly, I think it's a buried set light.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, it's possible, but it kind of matched the rest of the set, which was kind of cool. But yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what it was. It's too blurred. There's one shot where you can see it down on the ground sort of between the two maidens, and I think it's a buried set light so that the statue is more lit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I thought it was a light too. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that we've established that. Let's see. So
let's see. Like Larry Daniels in the chat just put something interesting.
Okay.
So Maureen said, like a raging sun, that is the dragon reborn, 7 seals, the boar, sealed by the power of the dragon reborn.
Awesome.
For that image, yeah, like that. I really like that.
Wow.
I love that too.
That
I'm a sucker for like symbolism and iconography, that kind of thing. I love that sort of stuff. So.
Okay, so before we get into the other images, let's talk a little bit about some of the fun stuff that Rafe said, right? Because there was some what would you say, Lauren, like stood out to you the most about the things that he was saying, the little hints and stuff that we got from him?
He mentioned Elida.
Yes, okay, that's what I was fishing for. I thought.
I don't know. He did say, "quote coming to screen." So I don't know if that means she's in season 2 or if she's coming in season 3. I wondered what you thought about that because I really don't know. It's very cryptic.
Gosh, I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, I guess like there's a lot to think about, right? Because we've got oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on her name. One of the ones that we don't know the casting for, but we know she's in the show.
Oh, yeah.
The one that everybody thinks is Varen.
Oh.
Mira Sayal.
Mira Sayal, thank you. I swear to God,
very nice.
if I'm like talking to people in person, I will remember, but if I'm on stream, it's just gone. But Mira Sayal, right? Like in my mind, she's Varen. Like that's just obvious. I don't know. To me, that's what.
Looks like her, yeah.
But what if she's Elida, right? And we've just been in the wrong path the entire time.
Well, Maureen did say in season 1 there was an older Aes Sedai who beat her and did mean things to her when she was a novice, and that could be Mira's character. Yeah. I don't see Tasha O'Keefe, who seems younger, as being that older Aes Sedai that Maureen was talking about. Now, it could have been Sheriam, which would be an interesting change.
That would be
because that is an older actress, but
yeah. That's a good point. I didn't consider the fact that Natasha O'Keeffe, I don't know what their actual age difference is, but she doesn't look like in any way older than Rosamund Pike.
right.
So that's a little tricky. Granted, Aes Sedai and their ages, like,
that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing. They've gotten away from the agelessness thing.
Yeah.
So they would probably have to find somebody that, I mean, they can make anybody look older, really. Some extent.
This is through book 4 for spoilers. Yes, through book 4. That's what we've established. So I think, I know, Tavern, you want to say something, so I'm going to let you go. But
you're good.
I'm going to let you finish. But I just want to say that I feel like I'm expecting Elida in season 2. I think we need to start building this stuff up. Just generally, because the Tower's gonna get popping, in season 3, presumably, if we're following all of the various book 4 plots, which are a lot. Like we talked about that in our season 3 speculation panel at JordanCon, which is going to be posted on my YouTube tomorrow, by the way. There's so much to cover in season 3 if they do all 4 plots to their fullest. And so some people were saying it might make sense to bring some of the Tower plot into season 2 to kind of like get that ball rolling, because it's already rolling. Tension is high. So yeah, I want to
make sense. It makes sense you would introduce Elida with Elaine too.
Yes,
exactly.
That's what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At this point in the story, they're so intertwined that I can't see them introducing Elaine without Elida being there.
It'd be perfect timing. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes.
That was what I was gonna say. So yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, I took it from you.
No.
Oh, you're good. You're good. As long as we got to it, we're fine.
But it's a good point, like the coming to screen. That could just honestly mean like, we haven't seen her yet, but we are about to, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and to your point, Kritter, Rafe did say in the interview, he said, one thing I'm excited about is the focus in the White Tower of the novices, the accepted, how Nynaeve and Egwene function in this world, how they meet Elaine. He thinks it's some of the best stuff in the books. We know that he loves the Aes Sedai. He loves the White Tower. There's a reason they were in season 1. Yeah, and I know that some haters have been really critical of that, but I love that this is all being introduced early. That this is such an important part of the entire story. Yeah, and I hope that we're in the White Tower every single season.
Oh, same.
Oh,
hard
absolutely.
Same.
Yes. Yeah.
Did we mention earlier when we were talking about the accepted test that they were talking about the set being in season 2 and season 3?
Yes.
Did we cover that?
I think we maybe talked about that more before the stream, than during the stream.
Because somebody was asking, I just saw it somewhere in there. Anyways, so basically, Elida was part of Egwene and Elaine's accepted test. Correct. And everybody was confused about the set, and I think that the set's important because it's going to be in both seasons. Because Nynaeve, of course, gets her test first. I think we're going to see that in season 2,
which I think they should maintain. I think Nynaeve needs to come first. Like,
absolutely.
And then the other 2 will be in season 3.
Or
I think so too.
Yeah,
because you can't have that same beat twice in one season.
No,
and it would be fun to call back to it in season 2, but also kind of accelerate it a little bit. You don't need to see the entire ceremony step for step in the same way.
Yeah.
Right.
That being said, Egwene was so ceremony focused in season 1. Of course, there was that deleted scene, but I can't help but feel like they do want to focus more on Egwene than Nynaeve in that way. It'll be interesting to see how they do it.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it would be cool if they, like, if we got Nynaeve and we just focused on her and went with her the entire way, like, because I would love to see that. With Egwene, I mentioned this in the panel, I don't know if we need to see the whole thing because, Rand at the end of season 1, his conflict is kind of a lot like some of Egwene's conflict. And so, but one way to, like, kind of resolve that, I think it could be to cut back and forth between Egwene and Elaine, because they were so kind of like hand in hand. I think that could be a really cool narrative device and, like, keep us interested. You know what I mean? Because we don't have to see it all, but if we see just, like, the dramatic moments going back and forth between Egwene and Elaine, that could be super fun to watch, in my opinion. Especially if Elaine is going to be elevated to, like, main character status, like she is in the books, right? Because she's got, like, she's one of the biggest word counts of all the characters, if I'm remembering right, other than, like, the EF5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. What else did Rafe say? I'm trying to see if there's anything.
The Texas accent. We
Oh!
might not really be getting that, it sounds like.
The only thing I will accept if it's not Texas is a Boston accent. That's the only thing.
Really?
Yeah,
See,
that's it.
I actually really like how Michael Kramer and Kate Redding do it, where they kind of like
The
grit
slur,
their teeth,
yeah.
a little bit of a
Mhm.
slur. I'm kind of hoping
Uh-huh.
for that personally.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm
comment in the chat. Go ahead. Continue
I was
your
just
thing.
gonna say I'm reading The Great Hunt right now, but Rosamund Pike's version, so I'm really curious to see what she does with the Sean Chan. We'll see.
Nice.
We'll see. So Tavern, you were saying?
So Dusty Will is saying if Egwene goes back to the tower, he doesn't believe, or they don't believe that she goes to the waste.
Yeah,
For season 2?
Season 2 or 3. If she goes back to the tower in 3,
No.
they have to go get.
Boo.
Well,
I love
I
Egwene in the
agree.
waste.
Yeah, we have to have you going in the way.
First of all, if it's between the two, Egwene has to go to the waste.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
And it is, again, it's books 2 and 3 are so similar in their beats. Like everyone gets together at the end of book 1, they separate in book 2, get back together
Cool.
at the end, and then the same for book 3. It is a little bit too repetitive to have Egwene and Elaine going back and forth to the tower. I still really want it to be the case.
Yeah.
Well,
So
and
what
then
if- okay.
why would the set be in season 3 then? Also, like, what are we gonna do? Like, I guess Elaine takes the acceptance test by
Yeah,
herself.
Elaine takes the acceptance test. Think about this. If they do split it, and this is, of course, just a theory, if they do split it and Elaine goes to the tower and gets her test, that would leave Egwene as a, dang it, not the accepted, the
Novice.
as a novice, and becomes
to be Aes
what she,
Sedai.
and becomes what she becomes later.
I
don't wanna spoil things, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think. Okay, here's where I'm at. Like, Egwene goes to the waste. We can't not have that. Her and the wise ones like this is important. Her and Avienda
Yes.
like this. Less important than the wise ones, I think, but still really good to see. Very important. Maybe after the waste, she comes back to the tower. I don't know. We don't know. It could happen. Like maybe it's at the end. Maybe it's at the end of the season. I hope.
Or she goes straight from the waste to town.
Yeah. No.
Just
I
picks
don't.
up from there
Right to
without
be
being,
so
without being an accepted.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I don't know how that would all work. They might push. I can't get. I'm not sure. We can't have her not in the waste though.
Oh my God, Lion Blended Fool is mad at the Dusty Wheel.
We're
I
fighting.
think we all should be with what they're saying.
We're fighting.
That is true.
I love how we just asked, is
Book 4.
chat full spoilers?
Chat,
Where's the
I've been
book
telling chat that we're just limiting to book 4. Why did we have somebody do something bad? Do I need to delete something?
I think he wants to talk about her future
Yeah.
plotline. and
Oh.
just to make sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Also, don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't done so
Oh.
already, please.
Thank you. Yes.
If you
we're-
appreciate the stream.
Okay, we've got a guess in Twitch, and I know you know most of you can't see that. Jubail says Egwene, Tower, Falma, Waste, Tower, and stays until something else happens.
Until she doesn't.
Until she doesn't. Until she leaves.
Okay, so this does bring up the whole Leandrin's
Goes on
part in
vacay.
season 2 and 3, the Black Aja, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because this is still safe, up through book 4, right?
It's totally safe.
So it's likely, right, that Leandrin is going to be the one to take Nynaeve and Egwene and probably Elaine, maybe Min as well, to Falma, right? Is there any reason why that would change?
I think that's happening. 100%.
Yeah. So does Leandrin go back to the tower, or is that the moment when the Black Aja reveal themselves and separate from the tower?
I love how we're saying no spoilers past book 4, but we're just throwing the BA out there like nothing.
I mean, we find out that
Well,
she's,
that's book 3. Book
Yeah.
3 is when Swan sends them on the hunt for the Black Aja.
I
and they go to
know.
Tyr.
yeah.
Mm.
So
I know,
we're
but
we're
still.
fine. Also, we find out that they're in the prologue for book 2. We find out that there are Dark Friend
That's
Aes
true.
Sedai
That is true.
because there are Aes Sedai at the Dark Friend Social.
Because they're having ice cream together.
Exactly. Okay. Wow.
Look at the Dusty Wheel throwing shade in the chat.
You know what? Wow, this
loves
isn't
it.
Fighting words, y'all. Fighting
literally
words.
not a worthwhile discussion. Okay.
I'm showing up in their next stream and I'm doing raspberries. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, let's see. Anything else super relevant that Rafe said before we move on to our boy Jay Duffy?
Oh, yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
He said something about a Swordmaster stunt team with a Swordmaster and how they're
Yes.
changing fighting styles, not just for cultures, but for individual actors.
Yes.
So I love the idea that each maiden sort of has their own fighting style. Super cool concept.
Yes,
That is
good
really
details
cool.
there.
I remember I got an exclusive thing from Daniel Honey when I talked to him at the premiere for season 1, and he said that at some point, I believe, he's fighting with 2 swords, which is really fun. Yeah, so
right.
you got to have a blade master teaching you how to fight with 2 swords. How's that? That's not something that's just going to come naturally. So.
Also, from Jordan Con, when you guys went live or did your TikTok right after you saw the video, you two were so excited about, especially Winespring. They do their own stunts, y'all.
Dude.
I think they were lying, weren't they?
Yeah, okay. They were making that up, and I was like, maybe in the spur of the moment, I would have not caught that because everybody's probably screaming in that room.
So much
and just going nuts.
noise.
There was a lot of noise.
So
Yeah.
I was like, I watched it by myself in a nice quiet room. Winespring was like 110% into stunts.
They
She
do
was
them.
ready to
They were
fight some
not
people.
lying.
Well, to be
Thank you,
fair,
Aaron.
they said they do as much as they can.
Yeah.
They shoot it from different angles, then they bring in the stunt person. So
I'm
I
so
think it's
excited.
a combined effort, which is the best.
Yeah, of course,
That
and it
just
usually is.
that just shows that their
Ideal.
attention to detail
Mhm.
in the production quality is great.
Okay, so our boy Jay Duffy
Winespring.
has entered the chat. Somebody also mentioned in the chat that he's got his social media game on point. So I guess it looks like if somebody wasn't like pretending to be him, that he, I believe, followed Dane Bornhold on Twitter of Time and
Oh my
posted
God.
the
Amazing.
Spider-Man meme. You know,
That was so
you
good.
know the one.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
So we love him already. He's fabulous, not just because he's a gorgeous human being like every other member of the cast. But we thought this was Gawain, right? Like a lot of people thought this was Gawain.
Yes.
How do we
I
feel
was sure of it.
about this being Dane, Lauren? Like, what were your initial thoughts?
I love that he was like, he talked about how he was really nervous going into the first day of shooting and how he wanted to do this character justice. He said it was a real challenge, and I'm loving every second of it. To me, that's really cool. And he also mentioned that the character is complex and conflicted. This is the kind of thing that I love to hear from actors because it means they care about playing these roles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
And so he's going to be another Leandrin situation where Kate Fleetwood as Leandrin has made me love Leandrin,
Love
even though I
her
hate
so
Leandrin.
much.
No, it's
Yes.
bullshit.
And I feel like
Yes.
it's going to be the
Total
same
bullshit.
with Jay Duffy. I can just tell he's going to make me love him. And the fact that he's good looking just makes it worse.
It does. Well, and Alana, right? Like people are
Yes.
like, well,
Oh, who knew?
we should
Yeah,
be
Alana.
for reasons conflicted about Alana, but instead we're all like
We're
she's
obsessed.
the best.
100%.
Like the green Aja is now the snack Aja. We've got a snack warder. Like we love her. So it's so tricky. Like,
For me, it's the same as the Dusty Wheel. I want to hate it, but they're so good looking on that show.
wow.
Oh my
Fair.
gosh.
Why?
Is this a new rivalry that we're establishing here?
No rivalry. Love the Dusty Wheel. Amazing.
Oh, Light Blinded Fool, can't wait till we get Jay Duffy in costume so Wheel Up Time can update the Third Age board game card. Yeah, so if you're not familiar, there's a fan-made Wheel of Time board game that's played on Tabletop Simulator, which is like fabulously done, meticulously play-tested, and a lot of the cards are fan art and or people from the show, and so I completely agree because the Dane card right now is like hilarious. It's like one of the fan arts where he's just this like squish-faced weirdo, and so now it's gonna be
Right.
different vibes, very very different vibes.
So the Dusty Whale pointed out that in one of the teasers we got, I think it's the behind the scenes teaser, there's that shot of a bunch of Shan Chan and White Cloaks fighting, and Loyal's like hanging out in the background watching, and we're pretty sure. And the Dusty Whale, he was doing like ear analysis, which was
Oh,
great.
the ear analysis.
I saw that.
is
Let me see if I can pull that up on Twitter.
And he was
This
basically
fandom is just the best.
amazing. Yeah.
I know.
Not
So,
just
but
that
I
scene.
think he's right that is definitely Dane in the center of that scene. The
Mhm.
question that I have is it Dane in the scene with Avienda with the cages?
I saw you. Did you? You
Yeah.
tweeted that, didn't you?
I tweeted that in
Mhm.
response to his
Yeah.
ear stuff.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
Ears.
I thought it was the same
Ear
white,
stuff.
white cloak outfit in the
Yeah.
scene in Falma with the Shanshan, and then I realized no, it's not the same, but it's similar. And so I was wondering if anyone thinks that. I think
We
that's
don't-
Dane, and I think the
don't-
axe that he's wielding will be Perrin's axe at some point.
Oh,
we
that's
don't
delicious.
think it's the
Yes.
we don't think it's the
Yeah.
super blonde guy with the veil, right?
I don't think so. I
No,
think that's
people are
someone
saying
else.
that might be like Judge Sheridan or Carradine or whatever, but
Buyer?
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
Buyer as
Buyer.
well.
there's no big like. Yeah, it's definitely him,
Okay.
sort of a thing.
Larry Daniels in chat says he's not a white cloak, he's a snack cloak.
Wow.
Pretty good. That was pretty
You
good.
need-
Got
now you need to make a
him.
recipe. You need to make a recipe now.
Snack cloak.
Making a note immediately.
Making a note.
JW,
Okay, so
snack
here
cloak.
we've got a courtesy of the Dusty Wheels Twitter. If you don't follow them, what are you doing? We've got an ear
ears.
analysis, and
Wow.
this axe, which he's holding up the axe, which I think is fun. If that becomes Perrin's axe, that is a fine axe right there. Like
It's a double-headed axe.
double
though, but
head-
Yeah.
So, like, I don't
That's
care.
true,
It
that's
looks
true.
great. I don't know. I mean, the other one had a spike at the end of it to balance it out, right? Or his original axe. It
Yeah.
was half
yeah.
moon with a spike.
Yeah, but that's where the whole. I think isn't
I
that
just
where the
wanted-
wolf name comes from? Longtooth or whatever it is.
Oh.
That's not him. He's Young Bull.
But he's young. Yeah, but
you're
he's young.
yeah,
but
that's
Longtooth.
Long
That's
Claw,
a-
I believe, is
Long Claw.
Elias, I think.
Elias, yeah, because he has his knife,
No,
his
that's
long
true.
knife.
Yeah. So, I could
And
see
no, the
that.
nose is the same too, by the way, not just the ear.
That's definitely him.
Oh,
the
yeah.
question is, if it's him in that other scene. For
I'm
me,
trying-
the
I'm
question
trying
is
to
that one
find
with
yours.
Avienda.
With
Was that-
Avienda
yeah,
in the
was
cage,
that
It's in
yeah.
response to
Mhm.
that somewhere, I think, but
Okay,
maybe
I'm
not.
looking. I'm looking.
It's okay if you can't find it. I mean, so the thing that's tricky to tell is cause most of the white cloaks have that, they call it a pauldron. It's like this shoulder armor on their left side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and the white cloak fighting Avienda with the cages in the background does not have that.
Oh.
So the question is, does he have that in that scene in Falma? That's what I couldn't verify.
Okay, I'm working on it. We're looking.
He's also wearing kind of different armor than the others were wearing in the different scenes in season 1. Like in that last shot, he's got like these other straps or
Yeah.
bars coming up on his.
Here we go. Found him.
It looks
Yes, Kritter.
I'm incredible at Twitter.
amazing.
Okay.
Oh, there
So
you
this
go.
is,
Look at that.
So some people think this is the blonde-haired guy, the other white cloak that we get the close-up of. I don't think so.
No, his hair's too dark.
That
His
hair
hair's
is way too dark.
That's Jay Duffy color hair. in my
I
opinion.
agree. The
Now
Sandy,
this could also just be a stunt person. This might not be Jay Duffy, but it could be a stand-in.
but it looks enough like Jay Duffy that it feels like maybe that's what they were going for, right?
Right.
Yeah. Stunt doubles. They try to
And
make
that
him
is
look
an
alike.
axe. He is swinging an axe in that scene.
Oh, you know, I never noticed before that there's a person sitting behind him.
Yeah, and
There.
some
the
people
bottom
think there's a
right?
person in the cage in the background.
Oh my.
Yeah, bottom right here. There's a dude. He's in a like a
Little-
black. That actually might be like.
Camera people.
Yeah, because like,
Yeah.
he looks like
Camera people.
he's in like a puffer coat. not very Wheel of Time.
The coffee cup all over again.
Yeah. Well, and honestly,
Oh.
the first time we saw this, I pointed out the cage and I thought there might be somebody in it. And I thought perhaps we were getting a Gaul rescue along with our Avienda meet cute. And so that's like my dream. Because, like, if we have Bane and Chiad, I want Gaul, like, eventually.
Yes.
So what do you
Yes.
think? Will we have any male Aiel? A,
Yeah.
and B, will we have Gaul in season 2?
Ooh,
Oh,
season
in
two.
season 2.
If there is,
Yes.
this would be the perfect place to put
Love
it.
that. Love that
Good
one.
answer. Good answer.
Yeah, this would be the perfect place to put it.
Yes.
I want Gaul in the cage. Yeah, bring him on. Like, let's meet
Yeah.
Avienda and Gaul at the same time. And if we don't, then
Yeah.
like I can see a world where we meet Gaul, like on the way to the Two Rivers or something like that in season 3, maybe. But I don't like it as much, and I don't want it. so that's all. I want him in that cage right there.
Yes, me too. Everyone thinks
And-
because of that leaked script, or the audition script, that Avienda is the one in the cage that Perrin will save.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an audition script. That literally could be Gaul's
Anything.
dialogue.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
and-
that's a good point.
And Avienda might be there showing up kind of after the fact to help Perrin. like she sees Perrin freeing Gaul and then shows up with
Yeah.
Bane and Chiad or something.
Or they
Like,
might
there's
have,
so
like-
many possibilities.
They might have been
Oh,
coming to rescue him, and then Perrin got there first, right? And then they
Right.
they
Yes.
encounter each other, and it's like, oh gosh, here we
Yeah.
are. Look at us.
There's also what the actress playing Sheriam said, that she auditioned for a fake movie and a fake part.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the audition script could have been something completely off, right? Just to not let people know what they were doing. And Lauren, to your point, it almost looks like he's got one of those pauldrons on his left arm, but it doesn't have the big raised portion.
Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
So he
no,
still
it
has
doesn't.
something there, but it's almost
Yeah.
like he's got no rank or something.
Mm-hmm. It's
Anyway.
long. It's long tooth. That's Dana Lou. Thank you. I
Long tooth,
said
yeah.
long
Long
claw, and now I'm thinking like, where did that come from? I feel like that's something.
yeah,
that's
long tooth,
something.
right?
That it is. No, it's
That was
long tooth.
Elias.
I'm just trying to remember where long claw. I also want to
Long
point out.
claw.
I also want to point out. Hybrid Havoc, Puffer Murdral. That's the guy in the background.
I love it.
Okay. I'm with you, Lauren. I think that's our boy Jay Duffy. He's everywhere. He's a white cloak.
My cosplay.
I love it.
forgot
I hope
Puffer
that
Murdral.
we get more of that kind of nuance with the White Cloaks, and I can't wait.
Mhm.
This also reinforces this idea that Jeff from Bornhold will be dying in season 2, right? Like, we're pretty sure of that,
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, in Falma or somewhere like that.
right?
Well,
And I almost said Jay Duffy, and Dane Bornhold will absolutely be blaming Perrin for that, right?
I can't
Like,
wait.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
He's
setup
gonna
for
be-
season
And then
3.
their love story starts.
They already set up the animosity between him and Valda, right? Between the two different factions. They set that up early in season 1. So yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's complex. He's conflicted. He's slightly off. You know, just mentally, like just a little. Well, and the thing is we get the conflict. We get all of that. Like it makes sense for it to be both in season 2 and season 3, right? Because we've got the White Cloaks and the Two Rivers with Fane kind of like corrupting them. All the while, but then before that, of course, like his dad dies and he thinks it's Perrin's fault, and he also hates the world and, you know, thinks Perrin's a dark
Yes.
friend. There's so much stuff that goes into it that I can't wait to see.
I can't wait for drunk Jay Duffy. Just like
Yeah.
knocking things over in Emmons Field.
Exactly.
Peter Reborn also says they think that Longclaw was Jon Snow's sword. Is that right?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Good
Thank
job.
you. I was like, I know I've heard of that word before. Where did it come from? All right. So
I was thinking Sharptooth from Land. What is it? Land Before Time.
yes.
Sharptooth. That's what I was thinking.
Sharp tooth.
Yep.
Sharp tooth. Okay, I love that
Yep,
movie.
yep.
That was like one of my movies as a kid. All right, so we also got Rima Tewiyada because
Oh.
So this was so much fun. I got to pull up the screen grabs from her just like absolutely unhinged video. Like
It was so good.
yeah, okay, this
Oh.
is completely off center, so we're fixing it. Nobody freak out.
So have you guys heard the conspiracy theories that she is actually Varen and this is all just a cover, and that's why they lied about how they spelled her name in the video? Because her name,
What? What?
Sheriam's last name is misspelled in the video.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It was, which I just say production error. You know, some intern
Yeah.
copy and pasted it wrong
Yeah.
or something. But this idea that she's lying to us about who she is, and this is a big, massive conspiracy setup when it leaked on her resume weeks back,
Wow.
and she's actually Varen, and it's a hint that she can lie.
She did
Just
say.
wanna put- I know that's
She
that
did
might
say
be
the
beyond
fake.
book
Oh,
four
fuck.
spoilers, but
Yeah.
well,
That'd be
to be fair,
amazing.
Varen lies in book 2.
That's true. Yeah, no, some people can get around things. Fun fact you learn later.
Um,
But I love that theory, though. How fun would that be?
I mean, I think it's
I would-
insane, and
I
I don't
would-
think it's true, but
I would love
But
it.
think
to
about
be
it.
true.
She even said. I just brought this up. That she said that they lied to her about the movie or the show title
Yeah.
and the character. So that would be hilarious. I would be
really
laughing a lot.
It would be iconic. It would.
Amazing.
It would. But just generally, like to me, I think I was talking to, I can't remember, maybe like James, who was with Jordan Con or something, about like when they got the video, how it all went down. They knew they were going to get the video like a week or so before, which is when they sent out that thing asking for questions. And then they didn't get the video literally until the morning we saw it. the morning we saw it. So like
the drama,
the misspelling to me is like, that's what happened.
That's all it is.
But also like,
what, 10 in the morning or something?
he also said like, you know, he's imagining they were like, yeah, just like we just want a little intro video for you. And so Jay Duffy's like, hey guys, I'm Jay Duffy on like a Zoom call, and Rima Tewiata's like, well, I'm from New Zealand, so I'm gonna make this quirky AF. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like that is
so beautiful.
It's a, oh my gosh. Again,
It's amazing.
What is the
every moment with the tree is just such a moment.
Taika Waititi vibes, right? Like this this has Taika with like, yeah, it made sense to me just based on everything.
They're related? No.
Well, wow, yeah, because everyone in New Zealand's related. No, but
Well, the only thing I've seen her in is a Taika Waititi movie.
yeah, the Hunt for the Wilder People, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
which she's so fun in. Like, yeah, I can't wait to see her as Sheriam. That's gonna be something else.
Yeah, right, to see her being mean to people.
I love that this is the image you chose of her, just laying flat on the
Yeah,
like,
you're welcome.
Well, we've got another
Perfect.
one that's equally lovely.
I'm just going to quote one thing she said in the
Please,
video that
please.
I really like. She
Do
said,
it.
I love being in Wheel of Time. It's so easy to become immersed in Sheriam, in her thoughts and moves and tactics and shifting intensities. I love that she has that kind of nuanced understanding of Sheriam. That's a really cool
Yes.
shifting intensities. That's a great line. And then she says, I look forward to fans experiencing the dynamics between Sheriam and novices and Sheriam and Aes Sedai. So that's another thing that I really like. This idea that the Aes Sedai are different with each other than they are with novices, and we are going to be able to see how that plays out. Super cool.
Yeah, because technically, like the you know, Nynaeve, Egwene, they weren't novices whenever they were traveling with Moraine, right? So like vibes slightly different, presumably. Also, they didn't get to interact a ton. Nynaeve was pretty hostile. She was at one point taking care of Moraine, and then she was just hostile, right? Like Moraine was like kind of like not even messing with Nynaeve, and she tried to teach Egwene a little bit, which was lovely, but we haven't yet gotten this. There's a structure, you are here, I am up here, right? Like, and that's, and Sheriam is kind of an interesting part of that, because not only is she above the novices, obviously, but she's both the disciplinarian and the comfort machine, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm trying to remember in the books, but they say something like she's literally the person who will beat you and then be your shoulder to cry on. And so it's kind of just like, oh, I could see her, and the quote that you just did from her is like perfect for that. She's got so many different layers, like. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm just hyped.
So
Me too.
talking about the dandelion at the end and trying to figure out the significance of that.
Yeah, there was someone who saw. Okay, that's future book spoilers, but there's something to do with Varen and flowers.
Yeah.
trying
Is
to
it
be vague.
tea? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's tea, but there's also just her notebook, and isn't
Yeah.
her like? Yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
I think some people
cool.
think that people think that that's another little hint, but I think she was just being quirky and funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she probably does love nature, and so she's like, let's just go out in nature and shoot this random video.
Okay, I have
What a
to ask.
beautiful woman too. Like just looking, like she's
Stunning.
lovely, absolutely lovely.
I have to ask. Boz M. Saho is saying Sarah N made an appearance in the character swap conspiracy thread. What did she say? Please type that into the chat because I have to know.
It was just two eyes, probably. No,
Well, probably
I
just
don't know.
just an emoji. That's all.
Yeah.
So again, like the fact that we have Sheriam now further confirms we're gonna be spending some quality time in the tower. I for
Yes.
one am ready for it. But
Those are
And
some of my favorite chapters in the books. They're just hanging
totally.
out in
Well,
the
and
tower.
One of the things I kind of wish we did get a little more of is a little bit of that Harry Potter Wizarding School stuff where they're in class learning. We don't really get much of that, of them actually being taught things. And Sarah did mention that they're doing something different, that they've evolved in the way they're showing the one power. This is a perfect opportunity to do that, to show us weaves. And who was it? Someone specifically mentioned weaves. I have it in my notes.
Sarah.
Was it Sarah?
Sarah mentioned weaves.
Oh yeah, she said delicacy, intricacy, and weaving of and the evolution of how the power will be.
Yeah.
So to me, this is the perfect opportunity. You've got novices, even someone like Nynaeve. Yes, she's powerful, but she doesn't really know what she's doing. She doesn't have any control. Being taught some of the basics of the 5 powers. Maybe we get to see actual colors in the weaves, which I've been wanting since season 1.
Yeah,
so much.
exactly. Also, was it that just said that? Like Blinded Fools. Disappointed we don't get the bright red hair for Sheriam, but the rest looks perfect. Who says they could dye her hair?
She could wear a wig.
her
We
a
don't.
wig.
We won't
Yeah.
know yet.
We don't know
You've
yet.
seen like a
Yeah.
wall of
So-
wigs, right? From
Yeah.
Priyanka. I think she
Yeah.
posted like all these wigs.
This
Yeah.
has been an ongoing discussion for me as a redhead. People on Twitter really want to talk about this. They feel like there's redhead
I saw that.
erasure in the show, and I'm like, are you kidding? They just announced 3 redheaded characters.
Yeah.
And Rand is a redhead.
Yeah.
Anyway, no matter what you
They
feel
shave
about
his head.
redheads
They shave
in
his head.
media, how dare they? They literally erased his redness. Yeah, like, so stupid to me personally. But that being said, everyone has their thing that bothers them. Sheriam being older, it does not bother me at all. I like the silver hair
no.
personally.
Yeah, either way, it works for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those are the small. Certain characters have to look a certain. Like Rand has to kind of look like Rand, right?
Yeah.
Avienda has to kind of look. The Aiel, that's their big thing, is red hair, blonde hair, that kind of stuff. So they have to look the part. As for everybody else, it is what it is. I'm not really worried about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're coming towards the close of the stream, so I'm
Yeah.
trying to find if there's
We have
any.
gone way past.
Wait, what? No, we haven't. What are you talking about? We're ending at 9.
No, for Lauren's. Oh wait, time.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
I got till
9
9.
o'clock your time. 9 o'clock your time. All right, never mind.
Well, 8 o'clock my time technically, but yeah. I'm okay if we need to go over 2 a little bit. One thing that I noticed is Daniel Henney, he mentioned something that I thought was interesting. Apparently, being loyal for Hamed can be very challenging.
I know.
Yeah, that was
I
interesting
saw
information
that.
to have. Yeah.
That kind of saddens me a little bit.
Me too.
Just because I don't want
Has to be
anyone
the shoes
suffering through a
alone.
role. Yeah, and I hope it's not such a tedious thing or that it's like actually giving him actual like pain or anything because he's so brilliant
would
as
suck.
loyal.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I also hope they're figuring out ways behind the scenes to like hopefully speed up that whole makeup process and simplify things. But
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
that
trying-
worried me a little bit.
I have said many times how much I dislike the look of Loyal. I mean, they did a great job with it, but it's just so far from the books that it just bothered me. I've never said anything bad about the acting or Ahmed. Phenomenal job he's doing. Phenomenal.
Yes. Absolutely.
So yeah, my things are nitpicky little things, but he's doing a great job. Holy shit.
I do wonder if it's like, things they do to like bulk him up, if it's like a prosthetics thing. Cause I also like, I've said that like the ear thing, whatever, like I don't really care. It makes sense that CGI would be allowed. My biggest complaint about his what they've done with his appearance is his hair. I feel like it's just it's almost like they made it tall just to, whoop, I got an ad, amazing. It's almost like they made it tall just to make him taller or something, but whatever. Like, I do hate the fact that like a lot of people kind of like nitpicked his appearance, and now it turns out that it's like maybe giving him pain, like, because he's absolutely crushing it, and I want him to know that you're like totally killing it. And I'm like, clearly what you're doing is meant to like make you look as much like the character as you can given the circumstances, and the fact that it hurts sucks.
Listen, they made the hair that way so he can make better lattes.
Like,
That's pretty much it.
okay.
I don't even get
That's
that.
barista Hagrid has pissed me off too long.
I like the wig. I like the big hair. I'm
Yeah.
partial to. I like the look.
Well,
I
hey,
totally dig it.
that's-
Well, and I can't wait to see him in contrast with older Ogier because he's supposed
yeah.
to almost be like a
Yes.
teenager.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
my feeling is he has that sort of like perm look because he's just like a kid. And
yeah,
I like that.
It is.
it's a little
That's the best
unkempt.
possibility.
Yeah, that's fair.
It'd be cool if the older Ogier were bigger. That would be awesome.
I thought
and I'd
that
be
too.
completely okay with that.
So he's like still
Yeah, like-
growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, do the
Yeah.
forced perspective thing when there are other Ogier, but with Loyal, he's just smaller because he's still a teenager. I like that
That
idea.
would
Yeah.
totally work. I like that a lot.
He's just 90 or whatever.
just
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
90s.
Only 90.
Boats out of
okay.
the wood. He can just do dinghies right now.
There is something I want to talk about that like hints at things to come for the show, which I think makes it more relevant than some of the fun stuff, like the fact that Lan likes the bird Trollocs. But okay, so Jennifer Sean Garcia, right? She mentions that her and her character have loyalty in common.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she almost gave us, she wanted to give us more, but she couldn't.
You could tell. You
Um,
could tell.
So I think we're definitely like we're okay. Again, spoilers up through book 4. Tower Ku's like incoming, right? And I feel like she's gonna be decent part of that. Like, we're finally they're giving her, like, they're giving us more of her, which makes me think that she's going to be a much bigger role. Because, like, she was almost nothing in season 1. It was so sad.
I know. I totally agree. I was sad too about that. So what do you guys think? Do you think that, because she says this, similar to her character, we've both gone through a lot and still want to fight for the good. So that really does imply to me that she knows what her character's going through. The question is, did it already happen in season 2? Or has she been reading ahead and she knows what's coming for season 3?
Oh my god, full tower coup in season 2. Is it possible?
Oh my god.
I just don't think that's too much to do in one season. On the other hand,
I can see it
how would
starting
she
in
know
season
about
2.
it unless she read ahead? Because I doubt they have the scripts for the.
Well, they've been
season
filming
3.
season 3 as well.
Yeah.
Haven't they?
Well, they've been preparing. I think
They just started, I think, filming. I think,
Yeah.
according to Geekiary,
very
like a
recent.
week ago, maybe.
Yeah.
She has had to have read the scripts at least.
I don't know though. Do they usually
that or
give the
she's read the
scripts to
books.
actors before they're shooting it? I mean, yes, the episode.
They'll have the script for the episode they're shooting.
But do you think they have all of season 3 and they've already read through it? I kind of doubt it.
So I
Either
think
that or she's read the books.
I want to
she's
say
reading the books.
I want to say that like Allie from Wheel Takes is a script writer, right? And so she, whenever we were talking about the season 3 stuff, kind of mentioned her theory for when the tower coup might happen because of like how seasons are generally structured, right? And so maybe, if I'm remembering what she said right, she's thinking that the tower coup might like start like in earnest to create a hook for like episode 8, right? Or something like that, to where it's like, holy shit, what's going to happen? Like, we're not exactly sure, but it's kind of like just enough that we know something crazy is about to happen. And then, boom, we have to wait 1.5 years till the next season.
Or 3.
Or 3. Well, they're already shooting it. Surely the wait won't be that long this time.
I do like that idea. I like that idea that maybe season 2 ends with the coup or the setup for the coup.
Yeah, they
started.
Started in season 2 and hit us with it in season 3.
Yeah.
I also
premiere
like the
moment,
fact that we got her talking because, like you said, one, she was short-lived in the first season. She came in, she did her little announcement, gave a scowl, and to be honest with you, that scowl did nothing. I wasn't thinking Domani when I saw that scowl.
Yeah.
I was thinking more Lan. I was like, man, she's rigid.
She's intense.
Watching this video of her, she's so much more beautiful than they showed in season 1.
Yeah, she's
And
captivating.
Her facial expressions are incredible. So I hope we get more of that. And I can see why they cast her as Leanne. Where in the first one I was like, man, that doesn't say Leanne to me.
Yeah, and I couldn't remember like how she was in the books early, right? Because well, no, she wasn't. Like I met her in The Great Hunt just now, and she flirts with Perrin and Rand. Like immediately, she's like, man, those shoulders. You know, she's literally hitting on them basically, and I don't know how I forgot or missed that because I kind of remembered her being sort of stuck up too, but no. So no, I see what you're saying. She's got like an air about her that's kind of like loose and like, I don't know, just like it like works for somebody who's going to be a demonic, you know, who is a demonic.
Have you seen her Instagram?
No.
Oh, I love
her
her
Instagram where she's like in a bathing suit with like not boy shorts, but baggy shorts, and she's surfing and shit.
She's just awesome. She's just a cool chick.
She's just freaking awesome. Yeah.
I love that.
But the sternness I get from her in the books was when she's dealing with other Aes Sedai.
Oh, yeah.
Or
rigid.
playing her role as keeper. And I think she did that perfectly in season 1. Like that is her one moment to chew the scenery, and she did it. Like she
did.
Yeah, true.
She slammed that staff down and set her line, and
it made the trailer, right? And I'm like, you're not gonna make the trailer if you're not really giving it your all.
Yep.
All right, so this is more or less our time. Was there anything else that like really stood out as oh my gosh, we have to talk about this? We just found out. I think we're pretty good actually. There's nothing. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're amazing. I think we really nailed it here.
We got through most
I
of
don't
the
think
good
we got anything
stuff.
else to cover. Yep.
Okay, we kept ourselves moving. All right. So what we usually do at the end of the stream is just kind of like give everyone one last chance to like say whatever they feel like saying, whether it be goodbye or to point out one last thing, or to say what their favorite thing about the stream was, or to give me a compliment, whatever they want to do. So, and so we'll start with Tavern this time. If you want to give your last remarks.
I forgot to mention in my intro. I also have a TikTok.
Oh,
and
You do.
I am at 1,199 followers on TikTok right
You need
now.
one more.
That's
I
awesome.
need-
That's
just
awesome.
to get to 1,200, it'd be nice, it'd be a nice
Yeah.
present. If you like my content, I'm not saying go over there and just hit like or follow just because. If you like my content, please go check me out. Aside from that, Kritter is amazing. Winespring is outstanding, and Lauren. I might go as Lauren as a cosplay. To walk on. Amazing.
Nice.
Dye the beard
Oh, yeah,
red.
the
I'm gonna dye the beard
Yeah.
red. I might have to grow hair. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Depends on how hard it is.
Okay, I love that.
Easy for me.
be looking for Lauren cosplay at WatCon. All right, Winespring, you want to go?
Yeah, I would say for a final thought, I loved how Priyanka says she wanted Alana's powers.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was really
That's
great.
one of my favorite moments. I just super obsessed with Priyanka. She's the best.
Mhm.
So her wanting Alana's powers just makes a lot of sense if you follow her on Instagram.
Totally. Both the power of the one power, but also the power to snap your fingers and have someone put fresh fruit in
A
your hand.
snack.
A
Yeah,
snack
it's
order at all
Yeah.
times.
Okay.
Okay,
Snap your fingers. He just gave it to her.
he just knows. That's just it.
He
Like
can
Just
sense.
knew.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a great,
That's the bond.
he can
Yeah.
literally sense it. All right, Lauren, go ahead. Final remarks.
Well, I do want to compliment you, and not just because you were fishing for it. No, seriously, thank you so much for having me on. This is so great, and it's wonderful to talk to you all. And
Yeah.
this is just the best community to be a part of, and every content creator is just the best. And I'm just so glad I got this opportunity to be here with you guys. Kritter, your content is just killing it, and especially on TikTok, I'm like so jealous of all. You
Thank
do
you.
a really good job, and
We all are.
yeah. And also, is it true? Did I hear that you won the cosplay competition? at
Okay.
Jordan
Okay,
Con?
so there's multiple categories.
Yes.
This
Yes.
ribbon, this
One
yellow,
category, yeah.
this yellow ribbon behind me. Wow, I can't. Whatever that one is. Yeah, I won. We won the Audience Choice Award. Danny, Allie, and I. So Danny wheel weaves, Allie wheel takes, and me. We
Oh,
did
cool.
Brigitta. Well, this is a. I'm going to not spoil this, but we are Brigitta, Elaine, and Nynaeve in disguise doing something, and it was
That's amazing.
fun and glittery and sparkly and showy, and we did like an act on stage, which I think was what really sold it for the audience. And so yeah,
It definitely did.
we won Audience Choice, and because we like ordered our costume, so it wasn't anything like technically impressive, but we did we were joking afterwards that we got the personality hire, like we're the personality hire of the costume contest, but it was so much fun to coordinate with them. So yeah,
That's so cool. And such other awesome content creators you get to do that with. That's cool.
Yeah.
By the way, when I saw that you arrived at Jordan Con with your amazing Moraine cosplay, I was so happy for you because I remember last year you had a problem with your luggage or something, right?
I
So
did.
Yes.
I was like, yes, she made it. She got over. You must have put it in the carry-on this time, I'm guessing.
Well, last time I had all my cosplay stuff except for my Brigitta bow, which was the reason
Oh,
that I was Brigitta, but I didn't have a bow last year. But I didn't have any normal clothes last year. I had I was Leandrin the first day, Brigitta the second day, and then I literally had to go shopping to have clothes to wear for the final day. So it was.
I gotta say, your Moraine
an adventure.
cosplay that I saw on Twitter, just amazing.
Thank
Speaking
you.
of technical quality, like,
Thank
it was
you.
awesome. So yeah, just thank you for
Thank-
having me, you guys. This is so much fun, and go check out my channel if you can.
Definitely
Yeah.
go check out Lauren's channel. So I'll wrap this up. Check out Lauren's channel for sure. Let's see. Oh, the costume contest is up on YouTube. Hybrid have a good point. It's on the Jordan
Yes.
Con YouTube. I'll just say that I had like an amazing time hanging out in person with Winespring this past weekend. It was so nice to get to hang out in person. If you are feeling the post-con sads or you didn't get to go and you were feeling FOMO, WatCon is coming up in July, and
We'll be
cannot.
there. We're gonna be
We
there.
are going to be there, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Like, that is just the exact thing you need if you missed out on Jordan Con or you are missing Jordan Con. It is an incredible community. Everybody there's a Wheel of Time fan. The programming is off the chain. The social media team is pretty professional, and it's just lovely. It's just an amazing time. So if you don't have your pass for that yet, I recommend getting it because it is lovely. And what, Tavern?
Entire Wheel and Chill crew is going to be there for the first
Yes.
time
Yes.
together in one place,
Yes.
and we're going to be dressed as each other. So one of them is going to have to wear a bald cap.
I never agreed to that. I never agreed to that. No. Okay. All right. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here. We had such an amazing chat today. Thank you for stopping by, Lauren. Thank you for being here. Winespring and Tavern, pleasure as always. Okay, where's my cursor? Bye, guys.
Bye.